All right, hey, it's me, it's Foggy. I'm going to do a Sudoku. I'm going to put it online. Isn't that fun? All right, so what we've got here is another puzzle from Logic Masters DE. If it's not a site that you are familiar with, go get familiar with the site. It has lots of great Sudoku that you can solve with a lot of unusual characteristics, a lot of independent creators putting these together. This is called Arrow the Ninth by Skeptical Mario. This was relatively recent. It was on my front page. And it's got listed at 1 star. It's got a number of solves and it's got 94%. So I figure, you know what? This is a pretty good one. I'm going to hope for 15 minutes. We'll see how it do. Um, as usual, uh, like and subscribe. Maybe I'll do more of these. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, let's go. All right, so this is an arrow puzzle, and that is really the only unusual thing about this. My levels are really high. I do apologize. Let's pull those down a little bit. So in an arrow puzzle, essentially the numbers in the squares on the arrow add up to the number in the circle. So if this were 3 and 5, this would be 8. And usually there's a lot of like lengthy arrows, and these are not lengthy arrows by any stretch of the imagination. These are very short arrows, which is kind of weird. Well, let's start by looking at this one because this is the only one that's not a single two square arrow, and that is this right here. Now, it can't be 9, 7, and 8. It's being seen by all of these. It can't be 3 or 4 because it has to have two different solutions that add up to it. So it's 5 or 6. Now, if it's 5 or 6, that means that one of them is going to be 2, 3, the other's 1, 4. If it's 6, then it's going to be 1, 5, and 2, 4. So we can sort of get an idea that this is going to be either 2, 3, or 4. This is going to be 1, 4, or 5. All right, so nine's got to go here because it's got no place else left to go. And 8, 7, and either 3 or 6 will go in the remaining squares, but that's really not that helpful. So this can't be 9. Looking at some of these other ones, like this obviously can't be 9, it can't be 7, but it could go all the way down to 3. And that's where one of the struggles with this is going to be, I think. Um, where else can, excuse me, where am I through there? Where else can 9 go? Like we know nine's going to also go here or here. Simply because there's no place, it's not going to go here, and it can't go on an arrow. In fact, 8 can't go on an arrow either, because if 8 goes on an arrow, the only thing that it adds up to is 9. So there's no 8 anywhere here. There could be an 8 here. Except 8 can't go over here. What about 7? 7's a little bit trickier. We could do 7 to, well, actually, no. 7 can't go on either of the arrows either. So here's why. 7 can't go on this arrow because it's already in the square. 7 can't go on this arrow because the only things it can add up to are 8 or 9. We already know it can't be 9 because of the two nines here. We know it can't be 8 because of the 8 here, so it can't be a 7 here. So 7, this is a 7, 8, 9 triple that looks like this. So that's going to leave 6 to go in somewhere, and we know 6 can't go. We now know this is a triple, right? Because the 7, 8, 9, like there are other things that could go here, but this can't be 6. Otherwise, there's no place left for the 7 or 8, whichever one's not used. So one of these is 6, and it's either 1, 6 adding up to 7 over here, or it's 2, 6 over here adding up to 8. And it's going to be whichever one this is, because let's say this is 8. Where does the 8 go in this middle column? It's going to go here. If this is 7, where does the 7 go in the middle box? It's going to go here. So whichever one of these, if this is 7, this is going to be 7. If this is 8, this is going to be 8. All right. Where else can we go with this? If we think about 7s and 8s, we need 6 squares total. We know one square is going to be in the center, one square is going to be the outer rim, two squares are here, one is going to be the other two here. There's got to be one more that's in this box here. So this is going to be 9 plus a 7 or 8, and then the 3 or 6, whichever one's left over. I don't think that gets me anywhere, but it's worth considering. If we think about what else is on these squares, okay, yeah, that's a good way to go. We know that if six is we know six is on the squares and it's either paired with a one or two. We know that the six squares that make up these three and these three are also going to be equivalent to this and this. Does that get me anywhere? I don't think it does. I think I'm just sort of riffing at this point. Um, we know what? What else do we know? We know six and one is going to be one, or six and two. And I feel like I should see something else here, but I'm not quite seeing it. And I feel like we got to get this bottom taken care of before we do anything else. We could bifurcate, but of course the whole point is that we shouldn't have to bifurcate. We should be able to do this without any sort of like, oh no. I mean, this is an interesting road here. It kind of begs to be looked at, but I don't think yet. Actually, no. So these two squares here and these two squares here, right? They can't be one and two. There can't be a one or two in there. I mean, there can't be a one here, period. There can't be a two here, period. But there also can't be a two here because each of these down here is going to contain, like, one of these is a two, one of these is a one. That means at best we're looking at three, four, right? Um, and we know that this can't be a nine. Neither of these can be nines, and they have to be at least seven. So they're a seven, eight pair. We also know that this is eight and this is seven. We actually have a way to disambiguate. In terms of what we have, we know that this could be 3, 4, 2, 5, or 1, 6, but it can't be 2, 5, or 1, 6. This is 3, 4. That means, okay, this is the break in I was missing. That's 1, 5. This is also adding up to 6, so that's 2, 4. This top row is going to be 9 plus 3 and some other one. This cannot be, this is going to be 3, 5 in some order. So we've got both threes accounted for in column four and column six. There's going to be a three here. That's our last three. All right. Let's see. What else can we do? That was a huge bit of progress right there, I think. Okay. So what else do we have in this row? We know we have a three and a five or four. We're going to have a six somewhere in here. That six is not going to have much to pair up with. It can pair up with one or two. Can't pair up with three because we've already used the three. So it's either 6-1 or 6-2, and then the other one is going to be 5-1, 5-2, 4-1, 4-2, which is very non-restrictive. But will give us these two numbers up here. Where else would be a good place to look? We know that this is not one, two, sorry, this is not, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. If this is 6, this has to be at least 7, but can't be 7 or 8, so it's 9. This could be 6, 7, or 8, but we know it's not 6 because that would make this 3, and this is now disambiguated twice, or ruled out twice, I should say. It's not 2 because we've got a 2 right there. So this is 6 and 1, and no, this is 8 and 1. Sorry, not 6 and 1. I'm being stupid there. All right, so that's 9, 8, and 1. It can't be 7, 2, or 6, 3. Where else can we go? This is going to be 2 more than this. We know it can't be 9, 7, 9, 8, or 7. It could be 6. It can't be 5, 4, or 3. So it's 6. That's 4. That finally gives us a way to get this sorted out. We know now this is going to be 6, 1, 5, and 2. It can't be 6, 1, and 5, 2, because that would give us 2 sevens. So it's going to be either 6, 2, or 5, 1. That's going to be 6 or 8. But this can't be 6 over here. So this is 8. And this is 6. And this is 1, 5 in some order. And this is 2, 6 in some order. I will say everything is flowing really nicely here. I do like the way that this is structured. Let's see. What else? Where else can we go? What else would be a good one to focus on? If we just do some normal Sudoku for a moment, we know that there's got to be a 2 here or here. I don't think that's going to be that helpful. Just looking around and just trying to see if there's any place else I can rule things out. I know this is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, or 9. It's a naked single. So that's a 7. And then this is going to be 8, which is what we needed to rule that out. This is going to be 9. This is going to be 7. That means that we're looking at 8 for one of these, which will be 2, 6. So we can rule out the 2 there. So I'm going to put this in now just over here just as a placeholder, even though I know it doesn't, like it can't go there. So this is 6, this is 6, this is 2, this is 2. That's one of the options. The other is, what are the remaining numbers? 1, 3, and 5. So it can't be 3, 5, because that would just give us 8. But we know it does have to include a 3. So it's going to be 3, 1, and it's a 4. Let's see. Is there anything ruling out? Nothing really ruling out 1, 3 anywhere else. But it does rule out 1 here. So that's 5, 1. And then this is 4, 8 in some order. This has to be the 4. This is the 8. This is 2 and 6. And that rules out 2 and 6 here. So now we got a 1, 3 pair there. This is going to be 9, 7 in some order. We can actually just reduce that to that. We know that this is going to be 6, 9 in some order. Don't say it. And then this is going to be 6, 7, or 9, but it's got to be specifically 6 or 7 because of the 9 already there. Okay. Finally, we have this that we can put in. This is going to be 5 or 8. No, sorry, 5 or 2. And then this will be 6, 7, 8 from the looks of it. And I don't think there's a way we can whittle that down. We just know that there's got to be an 8 here, and then the rest of it's kind of ambiguous. All right, where else to go? We still haven't really done anything with these ones over here, and I feel like that's our last of the arrows to figure out. So looking at the numbers that are already there, we know that there can't be a 1 in here. So the lowest this can be is 5. It can't be 8 or 9, so this is 5, 6, or 7. We know it can't be a 5 because of the 5 here, so this is 6 or 7. That's a 6, 7 pair as a result, so that's an 8. Over here, we know that this can't have a 2 in it. So the lowest this could be is 4, which is definitely not very high. It can be a 4, 5, can't be a 6 or 7. Could be an 8, could be a 9. This is one that's kind of wide open. That's a little frustrating. So over here, 6, 7 is either going to be 2, 4 is one option, and we'll go ahead and put 4, 2 in like that because it can't be the other way around. It could also be 4, 3, and so that would look, I think that could go like that. So we do know that there's a 4 along this diagonal. We just don't know if it pairs with a 2 or a 3. All right, where else can we go? We do know that there's a 3 down here. That's not overly helpful. I'm guessing at this point I'm just missing um, an obvious thing, like just something Sudoku related. Okay, so for example, this is going to be a 3 is going to go over here, 9 is going to go over here. 4 is going to go over here. That's a 3, 4 pair. So that's going to be a 9, 5 pair, I think. If that's a 9, 5 pair, then this is a 2, 6 pair. But we know that that can't be 6, so that's going to be 2 and 6. This over here is going to be 1, 5, making a 1, 5 pair, but that doesn't really help us out that much more than that. We do know that we can disambiguate which one this is. And where else can we go? To hell. Let's do this top one as well. We know that we could have one anywhere. Two is already in there. Three, four, five, and seven. And I think that is the least helpful bit I could put in. We do know there's no seven there. Clearly, that's the key. We have, what do we have here? One, two. I'm not going to do the same thing again. One, two, nine, and four. So there's only a two eliminated there. There's a two eliminated there. So two has to go on this side. We know nine's going to go on this side. Two, four, one. Yeah, that's as far as I can go. I know there's no one or five up here. What am I doing? Ah, three or seven. I think that's it. There's no three here because of a three, four pair down here. Let's see, we need a nine in this column, so that's got to be a nine right there. That means there's going to be a nine down here, but it can't be here, so it's going to be here or here. Let's say this is nine. What nine is this going to be? This is going to be this is going to be 1 8. Can't be 1 8 because of the eights that are already there. It can't be 2 7, 6 3. It could be 4 5. It would put a 4 here and a 5 here. So that's completely fine. That's hunky dory. If it's 4, this is 1 and 3. If it's 5, it's got to be 1 and 4, which we've already got included and is covered by the possibilities. 8 is not going to be 7 1, 6 2. It's got to be 3 5. And 3 5 go in the other order. It could. So, yay on not eliminating anything with that. Woohoo. We do know that there's an 8. Okay, that's what we need. This is an 8. Simple Sudoku. It's the only place where an 8 can go in this box. Boy, that means this is 5 3. Actually, no, I take that back because that is open ended. Could be 3 5 or 3 5. We don't know which. Uh, that's going to leave 4 to go here in one of these two squares, and that's going to eliminate the 4 here, which means this is 4. Let's see. We know that this is interesting. So we have a 6 7 pair here. We have a 2 3 5 pair with these three boxes. So that's going to leave a 1 4 pair for the remainder. That means that, what does that mean? That means this is a 2. Nope. That means this is a 9. That's what I meant to say. That is going to eliminate, that's going to disambiguate these two. These two are disambiguated as well. So we can put that in. I feel like I'm going very, very slow. This is a 3. This is a 5. This is a 1. This is a 3. This is now a 7 by elimination. This is a 2. Over here, we got this as a 3, which puts a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. Somebody kindly explained it to me. It's in the comments for one of the last ones. It's a REM reference. 7, 5, 2, 6. This is a bit of cheating because obviously I'm just using the red indicator to say, hey, this number doesn't go here anymore, which I could probably turn off. I probably should turn off because it is cheating a little bit. This is a 7 up here. That's just normal Sudoku. I feel like at this point, we're now in just Sudoku mode. That's it. That's all we got. Let's see. So let me take a look at each of the individual numbers. We got most of the nines except for one. Do we have most of the eights? We have most of the eights except for one. Do we have the sevens? We have all the sevens, all the sixes. We have most of the five. We have some of the fives. We're missing a lot of fives. That I think is going to be the last number that we get in. We got some fours here, but we don't have enough to really do anything with. Threes. We have one more three that can go in. Twos. We have one more two that can go in. And then ones. Ones, not surprisingly, don't have a whole lot going on there. So we do know that one can't go here, so it's going to go on this side. That's going to make this 4 1. That is going to put a 4 here. It's going to put a 4 here. And I think that's our fours. This is going to be 1 5, but it can't be 1 because of the column. So that's 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, doing the whole alternating back and forth thing. And that is it. We did it in 19 minutes, 17 seconds. And because I'm going to actually get a record of this, I'm going to actually put this in. Let's see. Let's go ahead and throw in logic. And which one did we just do? We did arrows. This is an arrows one. Am I signed in? I'm not signed in. I think I'm weirdly on the English version of the German version of the site, and it always throws me off a little bit. No, that's not going to do it. Here, let me switch. This is all off-screen stuff, so this is very not helpful. Uh, there we go. I'm signed in now. Yay. All right. Arrow the ninth. Let's go ahead and put the solution in. What was the solution? It was, I use a little notepad hit action here. 692758134. Come back over here, paste it in. Correction. That was good. Yeah. There we go. And you can see me in the solvers. Yay! I'm there in the solvers. Woohoo! Credited. Yay! This was a nice little puzzle. I really liked it. Usually, you don't see a whole lot of neat action with just arrows, especially with just small arrows. There's a lot of tricks involving arrows, but they usually have to have a couple long ones. I like the way that this one took advantage of the idea that this had to be like a certain this was very restrictive on its own, which led to this being restrictive on its own. Like this is clearly the breaking point, but I should have gone here second. That probably would have gone a lot faster. Folks, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you on the flip side.